Hey friends, Cody here at Fox CPS. I get a lot of questions from my client base and online, just basic generator questions, such as how do I check the run hours on my generator? What does the amber light mean on the side? And I'm just going to go over some of these quickly with you. Thought I'd make a video just to show what some of these things mean, and hopefully it helps you out. So this applies to you if you own a GENERAC generator, Eaton, Siemens, Centurion, Guardian, Honeywell. They're all manufactured by GENERAC and they'll all be the same. There are a couple different types of controllers, but I'm going to focus on the Evolution controller right now. And we're just using this generator as an example. This is a 16 kilowatt Eaton. This is made by GENERAC. Just going to go over what some of these things mean. Now, on the side of these generators, even dating back before this controller, was the Nexus. The Nexus controller, the Evolution 1.0, and the Evolution 2.0. You have the sight glass on the side of the generator. You'll see on this generator here, there are two lights. There's a green light and an amber light. The green light means that the generator is in auto and it's ready to run. The amber light means that there is some sort of maintenance check needed. So if your generator at home has this amber light, it needs some sort of attention. It might just be checking the battery, or it could be, changing the oil, air filter, and spark plugs. Now, there's always going to be a message on the screen that corresponds with either an amber or a red light. If it's just your green light on, your screen will say ready to run. So the amber light will have a message. I'm just going to open this generator up. And the amber light message is service schedule A. So this generator has either reached its run hours for service schedule A or the time cadence for the service schedule A. And service schedule A just means oil change and inspection of the battery. And we usually do a load test on the battery at this point. Now, there is one additional light on the side that you can't see. These lights are split up into thirds. I'm just going to go ahead and push the off button. So you'll see a red light illuminates when the generator is switched off. You'll also get that red light if the generator is faulted for any reason. So if the generator is running and something goes wrong, the engine will shut off and it will fault, and we'll give you a fault message on the bottom line here. I'm going to go ahead and put this back in auto. So our red light comes off, our green light comes back on. In order to clear any of these service maintenance messages, you just need to press enter and then press it a second time. That will clear that alarm. Although at that point, you should be doing the maintenance, because if you go into the history, so we're gonna go maintenance, and our maintenance log, it's going to put in that you did the service A maintenance on the date that you push that enter button. And now if we come back to our sight glass, you'll see only the green light is illuminated. That amber light has gone out. So I'm going to show you some of the navigation here. This is an Evolution 1.0 controller. There is another controller that looks exactly like this. It's called the Evolution 2.0. The difference is this one does not come with Wi-Fi. The Evolution 2.0 comes with a Wi-Fi module. This particular generator does have a cellular monitor. That's what this module on the side is with the antenna. So this allows this generator to communicate with Mobile Link, which is an application on Android or iOS that allows you to communicate with your generator or see what it's doing remotely. It's important to note that the Evolution 1.0 and Evolution 2.0 controllers are not interchangeable. And if you do mix and match, you will damage the controller. So something to keep in mind if you have a damaged Evolution 1.0 and you see a 2.0 online for sale, you can interchange them. So I don't recommend doing that. It will cause more damage. Okay, so let's go through some of the navigation. You'll see several buttons here. There's green auto, blue manual, red off. If you push the green auto button, the screen will say ready to run. In the event of a power outage, the generator will start and power your home. In auto, it will also go through its exercise timer. So the generator will start an exercise at whatever cadence you have set up. So it may be weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Current firmware in these units will have the exerciser run for 5 minutes. That's the self-test that the generator does, just to verify everything is good. And it's an opportunity for, if something's going to fail, will fail during the exerciser instead of during an outage. You also have the blue manual button. If you push this, the generator will start and run, and it will send power to your transfer switch, but it will not transfer. The red off button will disable the generator. The battery will still charge, everything will just stay idle. The generator will not start in the event of an outage if it's pressed off. There's some other buttons here: escape, down, up, and enter. Pressing these buttons will get you out of this main menu. So this is the current status. If we press escape, we'll see some new menus open up. System is flashing. Whatever menu is flashing, if you hit enter, it goes into that menu. So that's where we just were. Hit escape again. We can go down to battery. So press up or down until battery is flashing. Enter will go into that menu. This shows us the battery state, which is good. This controller is charging the battery from house power and monitoring the battery state of health all the time. So we're gonna hit escape. We're gonna go into submenus. This is an important one, how to check your engine run hours. So it's the maintenance menu. So if you go into maintenance, we can see run hours. This generator has 84.5 run hours. The next scheduled maintenance, assuming we've done the maintenance today, is in 200 run hours or 1 year from today. Maintenance log will show that we just reset that maintenance alert, that a maintenance was completed today, the service schedule A. Next important menu is history. If there's ever a fault in the generator, there is an alarm log under history, and that will tell us any previous alarms that this generator has had, up to 50 times, just 50 timestamps in this menu. See, this generator had a battery issue in 2023. Looks like mostly battery alarms in this one. There's also a run log, so we can look at the history going back 50 times every time this generator has ran. So we can see it's been successfully exercising. See if there are any utility outages here. There we go. So on February 7th, 2026, there was a utility outage. The generator started at 3:19 a.m. and then it stopped at 9:03 a.m. Those two menus are important. So we're gonna hit escape to go back. We've looked at history and maintenance so far. Let's go into the edit screen. So in edit, we can adjust language. If it's an Evolution 2.0, we can enable or disable or alter the Wi-Fi settings. There is a firmware update, which can be done by your dealer through this USB port. You can set your exercise time and cadence. This one's set to run 2 o'clock every Saturday. You can adjust your current time. Cold Smart Start algorithm. All this algorithm here does is, in colder weather, allows for a longer warm-up, and it actuates the throttle and choke for a more efficient engine warm-up time. Instead of starting and speeding up past 3,600 RPM and coming down, it takes the engine initially to about 2,600 RPM and then slowly ramps it up. Just a little bit easier on components in the engine. You can set your fuel selection, and then we're back to language. There's also a dealer menu. That is for dealers to calibrate the voltage, current. There are CTs in these Evolution modules that we can calibrate the currents if we have a load bank. There's some other settings in here we can adjust. If you change the controller, say this controller has an issue, something's not working inside it. If we can look up the current run hours, this one has 85 hours. When I put a new controller in, I can go into the dealer menu and make the hours accurate for this engine. These are all the menus. We're gonna go back to the system menu, leave it as is. This is ready to run. Always important to make sure this breaker is on. If for some reason the generator is in auto, but the main breaker is switched off, power goes out, generator will start because it's in auto, but no power gets past this. So the generator is producing voltage up to the breaker. With the breaker open, it doesn't get to the house. So if ever your power is off and your generator is running, but your house is still off, make sure this breaker is switched on. If it is, there is an issue in your transfer switch. Okay, so we've talked about the status lights on the side. We've gone through the menus on the screen. We're going to talk quickly about the maintenance intervals. These generators, when they're new, come with an organic break-in oil installed. So in the engine from the factory, this break-in oil is good for 20 to 25 hours. So if you have an outage where the generator has ran initially after installation for about 20 hours, we need to get that oil changed out with synthetic 5W30 and a new oil filter. So that's something to keep in mind. It may take a year or two for it to accumulate those hours, but that is something to keep in mind. After the break-in oil has been changed out, going forward, at minimum, the maintenance can be done every second year or 200 hours. So every 2 years or 200 hours. If the generator is operating in extreme cold or extreme hot conditions, GENERAC recommends changing the oil every year or 100 hours. Checking the oil is easy. The front cover lifts up and pulls out. There is a dipstick. There's an oil fill cap, oil drain, and oil filter. To check the oil, you just have to remove the dipstick, wipe it clean, and ensure the oil is between the two marks. Very straightforward. There's also a procedure to check the oil if the generator has been running continuously. So if there is an extended outage and your generator has been running for 24 hours straight, GENERAC does recommend stopping the engine and checking the oil. We're going to go over that process next. Okay, so we're going to imagine power has been off for a full day. The generator has been running consistently. We need to shut it off and check our oil level. What's going to be happening is generator will be running with power out on current firmware, and the generator running, this green light will be flashing. So that's something you'll notice. Once your power is off and the generator is sending power to the house, this green light will not be solid, it will be flashing. That is normal. Now, picture the generator running. I'm not going to start this just because it's going to be too noisy. However, we're imagining this generator is running, it's sending power to the home. In order to turn it off and check the oil level, first thing to do is switch the breaker off. On these models, the breaker is here. On some, there's a gray plastic door on the side. You need to open that and open that breaker up. This removes the load from the generator, turns the house off. We're going to let the generator continue to run with the breaker off for about a minute. And what that does is running unloaded will help cool the engine and the alternator down. Once that's happened, that minute's gone by, press the red off button. And then at that point, we're going to give the engine about a minute for the oil to drain down. When it's running, oil is being pumped into the cylinder heads on the front and rear, and it needs to drain back down into the sump. So we're going to give it about a minute. Then we're going to pull the dipstick, check the oil level. We're going to wipe it off, reinsert it, and make sure the oil level is between the two marks. If it's low, we're going to add a little bit of synthetic 5W30. It's very important not to overfill. It says on the dipstick, do not overfill, right here. Overfilling these with oil, you do risk blowing oil seals. The rear main seal, front main seal, there's also a crank vent. If you put too much oil in, it can damage those seals or gaskets. As long as the oil is above the lower mark on the dipstick, then you're okay. If you need to add oil, add it at your own discretion. Just use caution. It is hard to see new oil. So the recommendation is to make sure there's enough oil. At that point, we can switch the controller back to auto. Power is still off in the house. This will cause the generator to start up. It's going to start, power is going to this breaker. we can flick the breaker back on. That will turn the house on. And at this point, you're good to go. Generator will be powering your house again. You can close the lid and enjoy your generator power. One other important question I get quite often is, how do I reset an alarm or a fault on my generator? So we have a red light here. Right now this is switched off, but pretending there is an alarm code on this generator. Say there's an RPM sense loss. The generator did not start for some reason. How do I reset that alarm? So we're gonna pretend, instead of saying switched off, it says RPM sense loss. The way to reset that alarm is to press off, enter, auto. That will reset that alarm. So again, red off button, enter twice, and then auto. At that point, if you'd like to do a manual start just to see if it starts, you can push the blue button. The generator will try to start. If it faults again on the same fault, there is an issue that needs to be addressed. If it starts up, that's great. Then you can turn it back off with the red button, then back to auto with the green button. So, quick recap: to reset a fault, off first, enter, auto. That will reset your fault every time and get you back into the auto position. So there you have it. We've reviewed some common questions that I get, questions that I see online, and I hope in some way this video helps you if you're in an emergency situation and you need to navigate the screens or understand what the status lights mean, how to reset an alarm, whatever that may be. I hope this helps you out. And if you have any additional questions that I didn't cover today, comment below and I'll either answer you, or I'll make another video that addresses your questions in particular. If you like this content, let me know. Give me a like and a share. I appreciate you all being here, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.